Welcome back to Northwest Sports Tonight, hour number 3 on this Monday, the 30th of January. You know, there are so many games we talk about, and when you're talking about basketball, every game to win, it's one win on the schedule. But sometimes there are games that just are on a higher plateau that mean more for so many different reasons. And when you talk about some of the top basketball in the country in Division III, there are 2 teams here in the Northwest that stand above all the others. George Fox University in Newburgh. We had Michael Meek on last week talking about his undefeated season so far, and they took care of business over the weekend. They beat Whitman and Whitworth. And then there's the number 12-ranked Lewis and Clark College Pioneers, who have only one loss this season. That's to George Fox. They get a chance to get back at the Bruins tomorrow night in Newburgh, a 6 p.m. tip. The head coach of the Pioneers is Juli Fulks. She joins us live tonight on this Northwest Sports Night. Julie, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Ron. How are you doing?
Well, good. Now, I mean, am I right? This is a game on this calendar. I mean, you know, hey, the Whitman win and OT was good on Friday, but and you beat Whitworth on Saturday. But when you play George Fox, it's always a big game.
This is a huge game. We actually, over the weekend, we've jumped up now to 7th in the country, and they're 3rd.
Oh, wow. 2 top 10 teams then. That's even better.
Yeah, so 2 top 10 teams. And, so given the last few years, this has turned into a rivalry. It's come down to the conference championship. Last year, we wanted our place, and they wanted theirs. And this year, they were able to get us on our court. And, I think it's become one of the national premier games in the country, and I know people are watching it from all over the country. And, there's a lot on the line for, the second half of the season and NCAA tournament bids and that sort of thing. So our players are excited.
What makes George Fox such a force?
I think they do a few things well. I think from the get-go it is high intensity, high pressure the whole game. And so it becomes about a game of runs and a game of momentum, and you want to try to extend your runs and limit theirs. And between Hannah Munger and Keisha Gordon, they're both really solid offensive threats with a lot of very good shooters. And so I think it's a combination of a lot of high intensity. They put pressure on you on offense to hold them and get stops. They put pressure on you on defense. And they're just really well-rounded with a lot of depth. And so you have to play well for 40 minutes.
Well, talk about the strengths of your team, Julie. Why have you guys been so successful this year? Because just the one blemish on the record, that was, of course, on the 3rd of January when they came into Lewis and Clark and knocked you off by 5 points.
I think the best thing that we have had going for us the last few years and have really gotten even another step is rebounding. We lead the league in rebounding on the offense and defensive side, and we really try to, on offense, stay until we score and get multiple shots up and put a lot of pressure on people to box us out. And then the same thing on defense, hopefully one shot and done. Right now our rebounding margin in league play is 12 rebounds a game. It's top 10 in the country. And so I think that's, the backbone of a lot of things of what we do. We set things up around that. And the other pieces, similar to Fox, we have a lot of depth right now. And so we can play a lot of players and adapt to a lot of situations with different types of talent and really match up with anybody we've played, from pressing teams to half-court teams. And that's been a big change for us this year.
I'm looking at the stats for Christina Williams. She's not only averaging 14-plus per game, and she leads the team in steals, but three-point percentage shooting, 42%?
She has been. She is really shooting the ball well from deep this year and hitting some big shots. She hit a really key 3 against Whitman and Whitworth this weekend when we needed some big shots. And the best thing about that is it really extends the defense. We have a lot of players who can score, and when all of a sudden you can't get help from one position, it lets our post go to work. It's one of the things that lets our rebounding even be more effective because people are really having to go out and guard her 21, 22 feet. And outside of just being a threat itself, it just creates driving range and lets everybody else be effective in different ways because they have one less defender who can help.
So far this season, obviously, the only loss you had was at home. You're undefeated on the road. Some teams have trouble on the road, intimidated by crowds or whatever. Your team seems to do just fine on the road, and I know it's going to be a pretty loud crowd tomorrow night in Newburgh.
They do, and I think it's an experience factor, and maybe we can give George Fox credit for that. For years, our juniors and seniors have gone there and played in some very hostile and rowdy environments, and they have really taken to being able to play the same at home, on the road. Early in the year we beat Keene and Oneonta out in New York, and they're both winning their leagues. It's been a nice, mature team in terms of they can have some things not go our way, and still really rebound, bounce back, and it's been great. They really can settle in on the road and handle all the different things that happen.
Juli Fulks, the Lewis and Clark College women's basketball coach, is our guest on Northwest Sports Tonight. No matter what happens tomorrow at George Fox, both of your teams are going to be going to postseason play unless there's some kind of a total screw-up by D3, which has been known to happen. But let's face it, would you guys, because of the situation of most of the teams in D3 being in the East Coast, would they match you guys up in a first round, or would they send you guys in different locations?
It's hard to say. Last year was the first time in conference history they did split us up. And it's worked out that way. It would not surprise me on either hand if they would split us up, because both teams are currently ranked so high. It also wouldn't surprise me if we were able to play each other in the conference tournament, if we were lucky to get there and then turn around and maybe play each other the next weekend. So we could still see them 2 more times this year after tomorrow. What
would you prefer, Julie?
If I could pick it all, I would prefer to win the next 2 and host the first round, I think. And it's really good if they do get to split us up. I think it's nice to go play other teams in the country, and we've both earned that. On the flip side, the team that's able to win the conference championship, I think, has earned the right to host the NCAA tournament. But, I think for both of us, we know that they're a huge opponent, and not playing each other in the first round of the NCAA tournament would be great, because I think it would be great for our league to get 2 teams past that.
Well, Julie, hey, good luck tomorrow night at George Fox, and we'll be looking forward to the outcome and talking to you later in the season as you head toward postseason play.
All right. Thanks so much, Ron.
Juli Fulks, up there in Palatine Hill. Their athletic department has just blossomed in the past couple of years. I mean, the football team was so good this year. Basketball teams are playing well. Congratulations to the folks at Lewis and Clark College.